Hello everybody, my name is Khaled Siddiqui, and in this video I'm going to go through more in-depth settings and tutorial for the new DJI Pocket 2. Now I already explained the minor things, but just to refresh your memory, I'm gonna go over them very briefly, just show you where the power on off button, all that is, and then we go on with more in-depth tutorial. Okay, so this is what we have. Now this is the Creator Pro package. The Creator Pro package includes this section, which is all-in-one, meaning it has wireless microphone receiver, it has wireless Wi-Fi transmitter and receiver, and it has Bluetooth transmitter and receiver. So there are 5 radios in this thing: wireless microphone receiver, wireless Bluetooth send and receive, Wi-Fi send and receive, and this also includes the package its own battery pack. And so basically this will charge separately unless you have it connected like this. Otherwise this has its own little USB 3.0 charger port at the bottom. This has its own. They could charge separately or you could charge them together. Because the microphone unit also comes with a Creative Pro package, the microphone unit also charges from here. And the charger has a splitter, meaning you could charge them simultaneously with the same cable, because it splits and goes one to here, one to there. And also obviously you get this little wind blocker with it, and as I mentioned, you get a little tripod with it, and you will also get a little the case with a wide angle lens and a couple of smartphone plugs that you can connect the smartphone with. The wide angle lens magnetically attached to the case for protection and transportation, but yeah, that's what it does. Okay, so let's get into in-depth explanation of this unit. Now as you could see, I have mounted this in a regular little attachment, not to its original tripod, because I needed the ball angled so it could tilt, so I could explain to you and show it to you while I can press it at the same time. Okay, as you know already, this is the power on off button. This unit has 4 microphones all around it. You have a microphone there, you have a microphone here, you have a microphone here, and you have a microphone on this side. So you have 4 microphones in this unit. This is the most advanced audio capturing system. Believe it or not, I had this wireless microphone clipped on, and I like the recording of the original mic much better. So again, that's something that you need to compare and see which one you like more. Okay, the unit attaches to the tripod from here, as you can see, and if you let me unplug this. Okay, if you remove this, oh, you have to press this, I'm sorry. This you have to press down to remove it. It has a locking mechanism. There you go. Now this doesn't have a tripod setup. In order to put it to the tripod, you have to put this little gap, a cap, this little tiny cap, and it goes this way. And then you have your tripod setup. The advantage with this is that once you have it docked in to the tripod, once you have it fully docked into the tripod, you don't need to twist it open again. All you have to do is snap this out of there. This will stay with the tripod. That's the advantage of this little thingy being separate. Not to mention that it's also good to have a separate, a completely separate all-in-one receiver, which you can attach. Now I'm not a big fan of a separate receiver and transmitter, because when I did my first video on this, I showed you that the FIMI gimbal camera already comes with a built-in Wi-Fi, where this has to have an additional attachment sold separately, which carries the Wi-Fi send receive, the microphone send receive, and the Bluetooth. So that's why I wasn't a big fan of that, because of that fact. Okay, so let me seat this properly so we could get on to our tutorial here. All right, so when you turn on the camera, as you know, with all gimbal cameras, when you turn it on, you must be in perpendicular mode. Perpendicular means it has to be 90 degrees all around 90 degree, 90 degree, and 90 degree. That's when you turn it on, so the camera can level itself. So I'm turning it on. So there you go, the camera leveled itself. Okay, and now I can put it in a little angle because it's already on, no problem. Okay, so let me explain this little joystick unit. This is also sold separately. It doesn't come with the camera alone, but if you buy the creator combo pack, this is included in the package. And now I'm going to show you how to use everything. We have 4 main buttons here. This is the record button, on and off. This is the power button, as we mentioned, and this is like all functionality button, which changes it. If you press it once, it goes to camera mode. If you press it once more, it goes to video mode, and if you basically it switches back and forth between camera and video. However, if you triple press this, it goes to selfie mode, and the camera generates or makes a full 180 degree circular movement. Okay, so now I'm going to activate selfie mode. I have 2 ways of doing this. First is triple click. Triple click and the camera is facing me and I am in selfie mode. As you can see, that's me right there in the camera. Selfie mode, camera's facing me. Want to undo it? I triple click again. And the camera moves away. The second way is to without using this is on the screen. You scroll up and you press that. And to do it again, or let it face away, scroll up and press that again. So that is the 2 ways you can do selfie and exit out of the selfie mode. Okay. Now let's talk about all the settings. Obviously, you know this as the joystick, which you pull to the right, the camera moves to the right. You pull to the left, the camera moves to the left. You pull up, push up, the camera moves up. You push down, the camera moves down, as you can see. So that's a no-brainer. You know that already. I mean, and this is centering the camera. Like the camera is all the way down. Press that, the camera goes to follow mode. Okay, all right, so let's see the settings. Let's go in depth with the settings. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to tell you, depending on which way you swipe the screen, you get different types of setting screens. If you want to play what you have already recorded, you swipe this way and it shows you your files. To exit out of it, you click OK. Like that. You see your files. You could play it here, play each view, each scenery, or you could simply, exit out. I'm gonna, just for the heck of it, so you know, I'm gonna record a little scene here. 3. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello. Okay, that's enough. All right. So now, if I were to slide this, my video is there and I can play it there. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello. Okay, that's enough. Okay, so these are the things that you can do with the unit. Now let's go back to swipe. When you are in the record mode, you could swipe away, it goes back. But if you have no recording, you have to click OK. Swipe away will not work if it's completely blank. Okay, so the other settings here is the center mode. So this will take the camera away from the selfie mode. This will bring the camera to the center, recenter basically. this right here is how fast the following will be, how slow and how fast. Slow follow and fast follow. The camera will be following your face faster or slower. This will determine that. This is the gimbal settings. So you know, the front face follow mode, tilt locked, the tilting will be locked, and the other setting, FPV. Now each one is explained when you press and hold it down. Watch this. It tells you what's going on. DJI Pocket supports 4 unique follow modes. Tap start to learn how to use them. So you click start and it tells you what follow means. Follow means the camera remains horizontal, usable in most shooting scenarios. Okay, and this is the demonstration of that. As you can see, no matter which way it goes, the camera remains horizontal. For example, if this is the camera, you could be doing this way, the camera remains horizontal, or this way, it remains horizontal like this. See, my hands are not that good. It's not, I can't keep it horizontal, but the picture shows you how it keeps it horizontal. Okay, tilt locked. The tilt functionality will be locked in one position. And what is that? Let's see. This is the tilt lock. See that? So that's what that means. It's very simple. The image explains it, what it means. Okay, and this one is the camera rotates freely and follows the movement of DJI Pocket. So free movement means like depending, this is the normal functionality, the freely movement. It doesn't have to lock, it doesn't lock the cameras this movement or this movement. It's freely used, you know, with that one. Okay, and that is the freely moving demonstration and so on. So these are the things that we understood from this. So now let's go back to this to these settings. Now we know these 3 settings. We know how to center it, we know how to go to selfie, triple click or that, and let's go this scroll, swipe it down and swipe the screen downwards to get more menu options. Remember, this one was swipe up, this came from swipe up. Now we are doing swipe down. With swipe down, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 functionalities here. This itself is a functionality, and then we have one functionality here. We have multiple functionalities here. This one is the joystick setting, whether you want the joystick to control the camera's movement or to control the zoom in and zoom out. If you do the zoom in and zoom out, only up and down will work, right and left will not work. If you use the camera movement, it will have 4 functionality: up, down, right and left. So now I'm going to demonstrate. Currently it's in the camera movement functionality. So if I exit out of here, this will go up, the screen will go up, the camera will go down, and watch this. Watch the camera as I do this. The camera goes to the left, the camera goes to the right, and so on. Okay, now if I do this with if I go back and let me go back and change this to zoom, you get a magnifying glass. But what happens when I actually use it? When I go down, it zooms in. See, it zoomed in. And I go when I go up, it zooms in. When I go down, it zooms out. And then you have the percentage of zoom on the screen, which shows you how many percent it is. It's not very visible, but there it is. Like right now it's at 4x zoom, 2x, 1x and so on. So 1x is the actual lens without any zoom. Okay, now let's see. This was the functionality here. So I'm gonna go back to normal functionality, which is to control the camera, no zooming. Okay, now this one is full of different settings. Click on it. When you click on it, you have full screen on and off. Off is good because if you turn it on, your screen edges will be cropped out. Watch, I'm going to turn it on. Now if I go, the image will be full screen, but guess what? The edges are gone. it's showing me as if it's recording 4:3, but it's not recording 4:3. It's still recording 16:9, but it has already cropped out the edges. It appears as if it's recording 4:3. I don't recommend it because you're not seeing on these edges what you're recording. That's why I don't like the full screen mode. I like the standard mode. Let me go back and turn it off and watch. You see the full 16:9 setup, plus you have dark areas here where you could see what's going on, like as far as how much SD card you'll have left and what setting your images, your video. Okay, so let's do this again. What is this? This is the selfie, the selfie facial settings on and off. So the facial follow yourself is on and off. Like the camera will follow your face if it's on, and it will, if it's off, the camera will not follow your face. I'm going to demonstrate it, but this only works in 1080p. It doesn't work in 4K. Keep that in mind. I will turn it on. It's on now, and I'm going to go back to the camera setting, and now I'm going to let me zoom out so you can see what's going on. So now I'm going to do triple click. Oops, sorry. I need to do triple click. Okay, so now it should follow my face, right? Okay, so watch as I move. See, as I go up, camera goes up. As I go down, camera goes down. As I go to the left, camera goes to the left. And as I go to the right, camera goes to the right. Now again, I will emphasize this. This only works when you are shooting at 1080p. If you were to shoot at a different settings, let's say if you were to shoot at 4K, the facial follow will not work. Okay, so I'm going to now go back and turn this off. All right, so now this is the storage. You click on it, it shows you how much you have, if you want to format it or not. Obviously, I'm not going to format it. This is your accessories. Currently, I have Wi-Fi. I have to connect to, which I haven't done so, by the way. I haven't connected this to Wi-Fi. But if I wanted to, I click this, and then I could choose what I want to do as far as the connecting this to the Wi-Fi. This tells me what the Wi-Fi password is in the DJI Pocket all-in-one handle. Using the Wi-Fi, what happens is that this camera will connect to my phone, and then I can control it from my phone. So that's the good thing of that. And this right here is the speed at which it zooms and the speed at which the little joystick will move the camera. So currently they are both at 5. So at 5, the zooming is slow, but if you change this to, let's say, 10, the zooming will be very fast, and it will be extremely fast zoom. And the same thing is with the let me put this at 5. The same thing will be with the gimbal movement. The gimbal movement, when I go to the right or to the left, like watch, see, it's moving slower. Let me go to a further away so you can see. See, it's a little slower movement, right? Now watch, I'm going to do 10. See how quickly it comes back, because it's at 10. Same thing with up and down. Oh, I need to bring it this way so you could see up and down. There. So that's at 10. Now, I don't like that to be at 10, because if you want smooth footage, very nice and smooth footage, you don't want rapid movement. However, there are scenarios where you do need rapid movement. So you need to basically choose which scenario meets you the best. Now this right here is for, oh, by the way, I didn't go through there. I'm ahead of myself. First, I have to do this. Okay, this is calibration of the control stick. If the control stick goes off the calibration, you can calibrate with this. I'm not going to do that because mine is not off calibration. This one is for your waterproof case. If you have a waterproof case, your movement of your gimbal, currently it's like nearly around 270 degrees. and the movement will be limited because the waterproof case doesn't have visibility of 270 degrees. 270 degrees. So usually some waterproof cases have 180 degree, 120, and so on. So this, if you turn this on, now the movement will be limited. The gimbal, the camera won't move all the way to the back, and you know, the movement will be limited because the waterproof case prevents it from moving full function. So it's good to leave it off unless you are using a waterproof case. So I'm gonna leave it off. Okay, so that's that. Okay, all that was in accessory settings, all those things. Now you would think you're done with this. No, there is another page of this. The calibration of the actual camera. The camera, like I said, it has to be perpendicular in a space. So besides, I don't need to calibrate it right now. So I'm going to cancel. But if you were to calibrate your camera, that's how you do it. Okay. This one is a key tone on and off. Every time you press a button, you hear a beep. If you don't want it, you turn it off. But I recommend it to be on. However, sometimes that beep could be picked up with a microphone and may not be suitable. So that's up to you. Most of the time that beep is not picked up, but you know, that's the thing you need to know. You need to basically make the decision on that. Okay, anti-flicker. This is very important. I need to discuss this a little further. Now, in many countries, the electricity, the electricity is alternating current. So basically, the electricity, and all over the world, the lights turn on and off 60 times a second or 50 times a second based on which country you are. So in the United States, it's 60 cycles per second. Because it's alternating current, the lights, incandescent lights, will actually turn on and off, and the high-speed cameras will catch the on-off and will give you that little flickering image type of thing. This is the anti-flicker. So if you choose 50 or 60 based on which country you are, you have to pick. If you don't know, leave it on automatic and you will not get the flickering effect. The flickering effect could be really, really annoying if you don't have this set up in your camera, because your image will be dark and bright, dark and bright, dark and bright. It's not going to look good. Okay, let's go to more. More settings: language, reset, and device info, which you can see from there. And every time you want to exit out of a menu, this is the button you press, or you could slide the menu up if you're on the main menu. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the main menu, and if I want to get rid of this, I slide it up. But otherwise, you could press this, and you could basically, same as sliding it up, takes you back to the main menu. Now we have more settings on here. This is the glamorous mode. The glamorous means that if gives your image beautification and glamorizes your image. It's good for selfie mode. If you choose the glamorous, obviously it chooses more battery because it's processing that image, and it's only possible under certain resolution settings. All resolution settings and frame rates cannot support the glamorous effect. So that's one thing you need to keep in mind. The battery settings and power. If you choose your preferences battery save mode, your image quality will drop slightly and your battery will last longer. But if you choose powerful quality instead of battery, then the camera will actually run very, very at high speed, and it actually heats up, and it could even destroy itself from excessive heat. So be careful when you're doing that, because the camera could self-destruct itself from excessive heat. So using at the high quality, it should be used in limited time periods, not continuously. And also when the camera has enough ventilation. Never choose the high quality when the camera is locked inside a waterproof case, which will cause it to generate heat even more. So I'm going to cancel. If I were to accept, it will show quality, but I'm going to cancel and I will choose battery. Okay, I go to the right, Pro mode. I'm going to go into that. The Pro mode is not enabled yet, but I'm going to go into that as soon as I'm done with the microphone level. This is your microphone level. So if you're connecting your microphone, currently it's off, so I'm going to turn it on. Now I've already paired these. You have to pair these first. I have already done that. So right now it's connecting. Okay, so there is your microphone connection. It's already connected, but you know, the LED is on. Okay, so wait, is it connected? Oh, I need to hit this. Hold on. I need to hit the connect right there. Okay, it's paired, and now the microphone is connected. Now when the microphone is connected, it's recording through here, not through the internal microphones. If you want to switch back to the internal microphone, you could go back to that same settings, or you could simply turn off the mic. Simply turn it off, and this will switch back to its own internal microphone. Okay, now let's talk about the pro mode, professional mode. Okay, so that was the microphone. Microphone is unlinked now. So the pro mode. If I were to press the pro mode, what happens now? I have a pro icon. With the pro icon, I have additional settings, which is very important to know. With the additional settings, you have exposure control. You could change your ISO here. You could change different ISOs by, you know, going up and down, or, you know, currently it's an automatic, by the way. You have to choose manual in order to be able to change. So as you can see, now that it's in manual mode, you could go up and down and change. As you can see, you could go up and down and change that, or you could go up and down here and change your ISO, and this side is ISO, and this side is your shutter speed. Let's see, what's the highest shutter speed? Oh my god, that's some serious shutter speed. 1/8000th of a second. That's really fast. And this is your ISO. So the one at 8000, you would have to be in really bright sunny day, because right now the screen is completely dark. It can't even pick up. Let me see if it at that speed, if it can pick up the phone. Yeah, there you go. It can pick up the phone, my phone, but not the ambient light of the room. Okay, so I'm going to go back to automatic. The automatic is the best if you're a newbie and you don't know how to use the professional settings of the ISO. Let's go back. Now pro mode does not have only the exposure. The color is also controllable. You could choose what type of color you like. You could choose normal, you could choose color temperatures, and you could actually, let me show you, normal. Let's go back to normal. Okay, so here, white balance. Okay, this is where the color temperature is chosen, not here. The color temperature is chosen from white balance. Now it's at automatic. If you go to M, you have 42 Kelvin. K, you have 44,000. Basically, they are presets. You cannot manually enter. You have to choose one of these presets, which is given to you. But automatic is good if you're not into those kind of settings. Again, professional mode. So you have continuous autofocus, which I love, but you could also have single autofocus. It does an autofocus in each session, and then if the distance of the object moves, it doesn't do another automatic focus. So it's not good. I like the continuous, because during a session, if your object is moved back and forth like this, then it can keep on doing autofocus back multiple times to catch up with it. Now the professional mode has another page, which is this page. Now this is the recording channel. If you want to record stereo or mono, depending, if you, in some cases, you would think stereo is always good, but that's not true. In some cases you would like to have monaural audio. In some cases you would like to want to have stereo. This, like I said, has 4 microphones. You have a microphone here, 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 and here. So stereo is good for me. That's going to work for me. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, now when noise reduction is on, I really don't like it, to be honest. In most devices, the wind noise reduction actually wasn't in my benefit. It was reducing some necessary voices that I needed, like I was recording birds and the bird's voice were not very loud, and because I had the wind noise reduction, it would cut off the bird. So I don't recommend that. Okay, this is the volume. Currently it's at automatic. That's the microphone volume, but now you could change it. Oops, what did I do? I apologize. Let me go back there. Okay, currently the volume is at automatic, but you could change it to maximum or auto. So you have three settings: microphone volume low, medium, max, and auto. So I would leave it auto. I would leave it auto. And if you're in a very, very noisy environment like a wedding party, rock concert, then obviously you would like to leave it as lowest as possible, because you don't want to overfeed audio. Okay, the audio direction, currently it's all. What's the meaning of that? This means all four microphones are capturing sound. This is capturing sound, this one is capturing sound, this and also the one here, all are capturing. But if you choose front, the front will capture. The front, this is the front, wherever the camera is facing. If you choose front and back will capture. This is all. That's a no-brainer. So basically it's self-explanatory, basically is what I'm saying. I shouldn't say no-brainer. It's self-explanatory. Okay, so this was the professional settings if you want to change it. If these are too professional for you and you don't want to mess up something, then you go here and turn off the pro mode. Pro off. When you turn off the pro, all the settings are now changed to auto. Everything is automatic now. So that's that. Now let's talk about sliding from the right side. Remember, we slid from here to play what we have recorded. We slid from the top, that we went to all the settings all the way to the microphone level and pairing, microphone pairing and everything. Now we also slid from the bottom to do the selfie and all that, but we didn't slide from the right to the left. There are more settings. When you slide from the right to the left, it gives you a panoramic view, panoramic shooting, and you have photo shooting, video shooting, slow motion, and time-lapse shooting. So you have different types of shooting modes, which this is panoramic. I didn't want that. That was by mistake. I wanted to go back to video, but this is really sensitive. This is really sensitive. That's why it does that. Okay, now the most important thing which we didn't discuss yet is the resolution. Currently it's at 1080 at 30 frames per second. If you click on that, that's all you have to do. Click on that thing. Click on it, and there you go. We have resolution settings. Right now it's at 1080p at 16:9. Let me go back slow one at a time. Now this is 2.7K at 16:9, 30 frames. 1080p 16:9, 30 frames. But when you are at 1080p 16:9, you have more frames to choose from. You have 60 frames, you have 50 frames, 48 frames, and 30 frames, and 25 frames, 24 frames. Now let me tell you something. If you choose 60 frames per second and you process on your computer using 30 frames per second output, this will give you slow motion. So be careful with frame rates. I would keep it in 30 frames per second if you're doing normal shooting. Okay, and when you come to 2.7K, you still have the option at all these different frame rates. Okay, when you go to 4K at 16:9, you still have all these shooting frame rates. However, at 4K, you know what I sacrificed? I sacrificed the ability to track my face in selfie mode. So let me triple press this. Oh, triple. Okay, now it doesn't track my face because I'm at 4K. Now you would probably say, well, it doesn't track your face because it's not on. Guess what? Even if I turn it on, it doesn't track my face. Tilt. See, let me follow, okay. It doesn't track. See, I'm moving, it doesn't track. Now let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the camera is not tracking. Now I'm gonna go and change the settings, change 1080p. okay, watch what happens now. Oops, hold on a second, hold on. Let me go back. Okay, let's do the facial track now. Facial track. Oops, facial track on. Okay, facial track is on. Exit. It's doing the facial track. See? Okay, change the settings to 4K. Say goodbye to the facial track. You can say goodbye to the facial track. It cannot do it because it's too much video processing, too difficult for the camera to do that. When you go to 4K, it turns off the facial tracking altogether. So you want to turn it on, you have to go back and turn it on manually. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Facial track, come on. No face detected. Are you serious? Now it's not recognizing me. No face detected. Such a shame. As if I'm not some kind of human. Okay. So the camera is playing hard to get. Let's go back. See if it will recognize my face again. Okay. There you go. Face detected this time. Okay. So now the facial tracking is working again because I'm at 1080p and not at 4K settings. All right. So let's exit from that. Okay. So we covered everything. We covered the wireless microphone. We covered the Wi-Fi. I'm going to make another video, a complete video about how to basically control this from a smartphone. I'll make that. There's too much to do all in one video. I'm already reaching like 37 minutes. So I'm going to do a separate video for that. I hope you learned something from this and you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.